All right, what's up, everybody? This is A7X Fan Ben. It's my first YouTube live in a while. Somebody recommended this at the Discord server, and they just talked about like reacting to catching up on it after a while. So I'm just gonna do that right now. So I was able to, while I was in Tampa for Gasparilla and whatnot, I was able to check in once in a while, and there were certain topics um, that I checked in on. Especially, I posted an off topic a little bit, especially like pictures from the parade and whatnot. And then I also posted some battle report pictures, of course, and stuff like that. So, um, so let me just make sure this is working. Yeah, all right, interesting. It's been so long since I did this. It's weird. There's a new version of like OBS Studio to do it with and things like that. But as far as I know, I think it's fine. So anyway, I'll try to get to comments as I see them, but I'm mostly just gonna pop into Discord. So, or stay on there. So anyway, so let's see. Oh, interesting. All right. It's probably not gonna be that exciting, but I don't know. And I think I'm gonna have to. I don't really want to like type in real time, so I'm probably just gonna like peek through stuff and then go back and like I still want to respond to people in like messages and stuff and text. Um, so I'm just gonna go back and just kind of peek through things and try to go as quick as possible. Um, so I left on the 27th or 28th. So Connor, I've been seeing him around the server lately a little bit. Have a go, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so multiplayer rules, address it in the pirate code. I did see this briefly when I was in Florida about best UTs to have out in the field. Artsreal asks. I feel like that's a complicated one. It's kind of a loaded question because a lot of UTs can benefit or harm your fleet. So it kind of depends on if you're trying to go more for gold and if you want positive UTs or if you have an attack fleet and want to put a lot of negative UTs out. Like homemade flag could work, but if your opponent has a canceller, it's probably going to be worse. Um, there are some faction-based ones. I usually don't like those as much, but the faction-based ones obviously can be really good. If you want to be like a chaotic player, Lost, Bad Maps, Pandora's Box, Odin's Revenge, Plague, Missionary, those are a lot of the most chaotic UTs that affect a lot of players or can really change a game. Sometimes too much. UTs can get really wild. They can really affect things. Um, so, oh yeah, there is an Asheville meetup. I'm glad you mentioned that because I feel like half the reason I want to pop on this is just to advertise next year in Florida. Because I just got back from my Tampa trip, and I really want to make the Gasparilla weekend an annual thing where there's like an annual Pirate CSG meetup, like the day after Gasparilla. It's always the last Saturday in January, and then if we could play on the Sunday after a weekend day, that would be great. Just like we did this past weekend on the 29th. We had a 4-player game and then a 3-player game after that. So, um, but then yeah, I'll look at this too. I know there's been some meetups elsewhere in like the southeast or on the east coast. So, um, so yeah, it's pretty good, pretty exciting actually. The Asheville, North Carolina meetup is really cool. So February 25th at noon, Well Played Board Game Cafe. So T264E4 will be there, and there's going to be some other players there too. So thanks for thanks for mentioning that. Hey, what's up, Lucky Brand? Glad to see you on here. First YouTube live in a while, so trying to get used to it again. um, and then there's also 2 days from now, Arlington, Virginia. There might be something, so hopefully it'll be a game for that. So it's been an exciting time the past like year or so. Seen a lot of Pirate CSG meetups in person and whatnot, so that's really exciting. So Pirate CSG was redone. What do you want done differently? I mean, there's a lot of things you could change. My first like random thing that the token word makes me think of is putting more generic crew per card. So like in a pack, it's like game in every pack, but you have to open a ton of packs to get enough generic crew to make good fleets. So it'd be cool to see like maybe 4 or maybe even more than 4 generic crew on a card, and also base it on how good they are in terms of rarity. So like Captain Helmsman, Explorer Oarsman are the most common, and maybe you find that generic crew card in maybe 7 out of every 10 packs. And then like 2 out of 10 packs you get um like Musketeer, Shipwright, Firepower Specialist, and someone else, and then like some other stuff, some other variation for like the 1 out of 10, like the more rare, like maybe Smoke Pot Specialist, stuff like that. So I think that would be solid. Definitely other factions would be good. Dutch are always my first choice for new factions. So up to 6, nice. I like that. So Asheville, North Carolina, definitely where it's at right now. So about 3 weeks from now, that's exciting. Looking forward to hearing about that for sure. Uh, let's see, Ottomans, yeah, Corsairs, Ottomans, similar. That makes sense. Yeah, yeah, the balance is definitely gets pretty crazy. The factional balances, imbalances are out of control. Um, yeah, I would agree with that to some extent. The FAQ is up to like 64 pages, I think, in the Pirate Code. So, um, I think what's interesting that reminds me of is like it started out as like a beer and pretzels game, as they called it back in like the Spanish main days, and I totally understand that for the first few sets, but then with all the stuff they added and how complex the pirate code is and how many game piece abilities and ability interactions there are and UTs and stuff like that, it's actually became way more complicated. So a lot of people that didn't play past like Revolution or 2006 or whatever, they think it's a really basic game, and you can see that in the complexity rating on Board Game Geek. I think is like 1.77 out of 5, but realistically, maybe it should be like 2.5 or 3 stars for complication for complexity, just because of how much they added and how wild it gets. So, and I learn new things about the rules pretty much every game I play, or at least most of them. So, um, let's see. Yeah, Captain could be more. Yeah. Um, yeah, most ships have helmsman. Yeah. I don't know if I don't know if I agree with that, but um, I'd have to think about that a bit more. I don't know. I feel like you could just eliminate, if you want to do that, just eliminate helmsman and don't give the ships plus S, because then you could just play them as is. You could ban helmsman, I guess, but anyway, yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah. I agree with that. That happens on stuff like Monarca sometimes, or Raven. And there's a decent amount of good gold runners that get plus S with no cargo, like Trapassi and stuff. So, um, and yeah, Helmsman is definitely undercosted. It's the best deal on crew in the game. So I agree. I agree with that too. Yeah, bring in the Dutch at a minimum, and then yeah, I do like the old mass style better. The newer is less prone to breakage. So that's good, but um, so Western North Carolina for Asheville. Yeah, I was excited. Somebody on the map, somebody just added them to the player locator map recently, and actually, I'll put a link there because this will show up in the chat. For some reason, I can't look at this unless I'm in like incognito. But anyway, I'll just put it there. Somebody added themselves recently, and they were like, "Oh, there's an Asheville meetup. I'm right near Asheville, so it's pretty cool." So, okay, this is wild. So longships in snow from Captain Skell Rattler of Bones, Skellabone. That's really neat. Hmm, that is wild. Looks like some kind of weird ice crystal mat or something. This is pretty interesting. Huh. Very cool. So he's in Texas too. Nice, nice. Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio. Yeah, there's people that play near Dallas. So, and then, oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, there's way less in general than I thought. Interesting. All right, cool. That just makes this quicker, which is fine. So, yeah, how do I feel being the main torchbearer? I enjoy it. I like being an ambassador for the game. I feel I don't know. I've enjoyed the past few years like being kind of a connector, in my opinion, like connecting people. So like the Tampa meetup, I kind of instigated that. Marshall was already planning on a meetup last year, but the hurricane wrecked it, unfortunately, Hurricane Ian. Um, but I enjoy like scheduling meetups and like coordinating things. And now I'm like adding people to the Florida Pirates Messenger group, which has grown by like 3 or 4 people just in the past day. And I'm not even in. I'm on the opposite corner of the country. I'm in Washington, so it's just fun to. I don't know. It's fun to try to bring people together for the joy of the game and things like that. So I definitely enjoy it. Um, so I want to keep improving my content and things I do, and keep trying to bring value and joy to the community for sure. So I enjoy it overall. Um, it's not real snow. Yeah, I thought it looked weird. I thought it looked like not to like bash the post, just I thought it looked like some kind of ice snow crystal mat. So um, I don't know. It looks I don't know. I guess it's I know it looks I don't know if it's like melting as the picture's being taken or what. But yeah, it doesn't look as like fluffy. I'm used to central New York snow where it's you get tons of feet all at once, so it looks a little iffy. But meet up in Denmark, Nemo 9220. Nice. There's definitely yeah, it's frozen over. Yeah, that makes sense. There's definitely some players in Europe. From what I've seen on the map, it's like um they're like all over the place. Yeah, I gotta figure out why I can't open this in regular window, but yeah, there's some like players in France and players in the UK. I don't know if there's another in Denmark from the Facebook group. There might be. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. I'll try to get back to actually reacting to stuff. All right. Yeah, a couple of rules questions. Vendari answered. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll go to the next one. Okay. This one. This one doesn't have much new stuff. So native canoes with eternal. That'd be fine because you could just they would just return to your home island as soon as they get hit. Since they don't have masts. But I think that's kind of arguably kind of overpowered because canoes are already pretty good usually as is. So then if you add eternal, then all 5 are eternal, and then they would one hit, and then they just immediately go back to your home island. I mean, the gold goes out of the game, but if they were carrying any, but um, I think that would, I think that would have to be kind of expensive, especially if they were fast and able to get into action right away. He might be asking more about um, like home island versus wild island, but Eternal would say um, home island. So unless you wanted to make it like a custom canoe Eternal where it goes to the wild island they started at, but I think that would be a little too complicated. I don't think that's really that might actually be more powerful too, because then if they're sunk before they can get gold, then they could just reappear back and grab it anyway. Yeah, I think it totally works. I just haven't thought of that or tried it out yet or anything. So, on its opinion, it's some of the most balanced ships in the game. Any variation, any source that you have points for the ability to test the ship. Yeah, I think a lot of them fit into that category. I think a lot of times my default ship for like most underrated is Lake Triton. I'll bring up Teeler Fire's database here. Um, this one has SL speed, 5 cargo. It's not really overpowered or underpowered. I just think it's really underrated. I'll keep saying this is the most underrated ship in the game until people talk about it a lot or I see it used more. I don't know. I think it's really cool. But I think a lot of ships are balanced. I think like possession, this one is pretty balanced, like a good gunship, good just good all around, good balance for points. Dauphine Royale, similar. I think she's balanced. So I think I think a lot of ships fit into that category. In terms of most balanced, then I think it becomes kind of opinionated at that point. Um, so I don't think Jikaniki is good for. I think she should be a lot cheaper. With 0 cargo, it's just hard to do anything with it. Dover and Jollymon, yeah, that's fair. Most yeah, those other ones are generally fair. Furia, I think, is overcosted, but um, and yeah, Dover's probably the best ship out of those five. So yeah, Chicken and Key is rough. Interceptor, yeah, Interceptor is pretty balanced. That's fair. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's just I would say a lot of them are balanced. I'll go through some of the YouTube stuff. Opinion on full custom ships. Um, Not sure what you mean, like designed and like fully customized in terms of artwork and stuff. Um, so I think they're cool though. I'm glad people make them. So love to see more, and I like seeing the custom artwork for sure. So yeah, yeah, I agree with that completely. I kind of selfishly want to have it in Las Vegas just because it's already a convention center anyway. Um, and then um, Captain Randy is there, and I've been there a handful of times. There's plenty of good places to meet there too. Um, and it's not in the middle of the states, but it's not like it's not like Washington or Florida where it's like way out on the coast or whatever. Um, Especially when there's other events, I don't mind traveling. Like Gasparilla was one of the reasons I got to Florida. And like Los Angeles has an amazing music scene and a ton of entertainment, so it's hard not to want to have like meetups in places like that where there's already other things going on. So then you're not only flying to play Pirate CSG, which is fine to do, but I don't think most people want to like pay airfare just for Pirates. So it's fun to have it in other locations where there's other options and other things to do on the way there and things like that. So, which of course Vegas is great at because it's awesome and chaotic and entertaining. I wasn't saying La Furia is busted. I think that one's overpriced actually. Um, I think she should be lower in cost. She's 12, I think. Um, it's not a it's not a bad ship, but I haven't seen support gunships that are expensive like this do very well in games, which is mainly why I say it's not that good. So the cannons are kind of meh, and the point cost is just high for what you're likely to be able to do with it. She'll probably get hit first before she can do much damage. And 17 points in a support gunship is she's got to be really good, and she's not quite there in my opinion. Obviously a great ability, but um, much better to spend extra points to get like Lester or Endeavor, stuff like that. So um, let's get back through this one. I'm not probably not going to cover every response in all the different threads, but um, HMS Victor is balanced. Yeah, I would say so. HMS Lord Whirlpool. Yep, yep. Those are some of my favorite ships, actually. Yeah, what's up, Calf? Collection discussions. This one's got about 30 messages. So let me just kind of go through where I stopped seeing stuff. It's around the 28th or 29th. So, oh yeah, yeah. This was just kind of an experiment on um, highest priced full page. Oh, that is cool. Interesting. I've never thought of bins that big that would also be clear. So that's pretty neat, actually. I like that. Get a little full scale view here. Nice. Got the dragon delusion. Yeah, that's interesting. Because then you can display things while still storing them, which is neat. So I like that. Interesting. Okay. Might have to check that out sometime. Target deal of the day. Huh. Maybe I'll go to Target sometime soon. Nice. Thorbeard, all 10 masters. That's a great feeling. Yeah, I finished my set in like 2018 or something like that. And yeah, it's great. It's great to see. Now the challenge is to play them all in a game. uh, okay, yeah, that case of RV tins. I remember that. That's wild. It's crazy to it's interesting to buy that many tins just for Barbary Corsair or Barbary Coast Unlimited packs, but sometimes the collecting gets desperate for sure. So yeah, a 16 pack sealed makes me wonder if there's any others like that that are still sealed out there. That's crazy. I think it was from Hills Wholesale Gaming, so maybe they had some or something. So yeah, but yeah, it's been a few years since they had them, so that makes sense. Let's see. Mass over the custom full custom ships, mass designs and FX custom pieces like custom sea monsters. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm totally for customs. I think it's worth experimenting with and worth playtesting, all that type of stuff. And then is it okay to be unbalanced if it's cool like a one monster army? That's a little iffier. And I think it kind of starts to mess with like kind of the theme of the game and the balance of the game, but I can't really be exempt because I've made some. If you look at my Pirates of the Epic Seas custom set, there's some really crazy stuff in there. I won't go into detail yet, but I think it's still worth experimenting with. You just don't want to break the game too much, and you want it to be everything to be fully compatible and workable with existing units. I think should be one of the main goals of customs to not totally go off the road too much. So, let's see. So the 28th is about where I left off. So yeah, unboxing. There's going to be a lot of stuff in here. Glad to see people getting new stuff. Those alternate language cards are wild. I don't really have any of those. I don't think I'm ever going to be like overly interested in collecting them either, to be honest, just because of the money involved and I wouldn't like use them realistically. So I just not overly interested, but it's still cool that people are like dredging those up and bringing more attention to like German language and French cards and stuff like that. So Thorbeard with the Bouchon, love it. Great ship. Very fun ship to play for sure too. Oh, this is one I've wanted too. Lizard. This is a really solid ship too. It's kind of like a more expensive version of like Coeur du Lion, one of the classic French ships from Ocean's Edge. So just 5 more cards for a complete set of English language cards. That's awesome. So map P approaching completion. Yeah, it's cool to meet up with Dolab 1 or JJ Holub 9 in Tampa because he's got basically everything except for Robago Deuce. So really cool. That podcast, I did a podcast with him on Monday night actually because the 100-point game took so long that he had to leave and we couldn't do the podcast on Sunday. But we met up on Monday to do it, which was great. So I'm planning to release that later today. So nice. Yeah, the OELE is not very good for the game, or for gameplay, but crazy rare for sure. I've only got I think a couple of those. Got like Tiger and Gator or something similar to that. So big package with Thorbeard. Very nice. Nice. Terex. Yeah, Francesca is a pretty good one actually. She's one of the better Ocean's Edge LEs. Obviously Endeavor, one of the best ships in the game. So nice. Yeah, seems like a lot of people have gotten the Fire and Steel historical packs the past handful of months or whatever. So nice. Celestin is good for sure. Yep. Glad to see that trade finally came in. Mr. Zone. Let's see. Zip through the rest of this. Oh, nice. Nice stuff. That is a very playable lot right there. Nice. 15 parcels. Nice. So that's coming tomorrow. Like actual tomorrow. So it'll be on Friday. So nice. Super rares. Some good ships too. Awesome. Alright. Let's go to projects. Yeah, there was some stuff in here that I was seeing. I was seeing some of this. This is oftentimes my favorite channel. So this is like one of my favorites to look through. So I couldn't resist but look at some of these when I was in Florida. So yeah, I think this new design is pretty cool. That Algoth Hybara posted. That's really neat. I would totally use these. Maybe only as like I would use the same design as like the WizKids One Masters for the purposes of making them like ships or whatever, like just a one-masted sloop, but it looks really neat. So, and this idea is really interesting in terms of trying to cut down on breakages and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see, to hear what kind of durability comes out of that, or if they get, if they get tested in games and then if they break less, things like that. Or even you could even just do like a scientific testing on them to see at what point the mass breaks, things like that. So, and then yeah, Captain Yellowbeard, love the islands, really neat. Good to see him on a table. Get some Frozen North games going. Nice. It's always fun to. It's weird to see like a Frozen North themed game because I remember I played one of those for in like 2017, I guess, for the 10th anniversary of Frozen North game. Um, it's weird because the ocean was all like blue and white, which it normally has a lot of those colors anyway. But for like a Frozen North themed games with a ton of icebergs, it's like really, really interesting look to the ocean. So Radix 59 is a new rules for a game I'm calling Empires of Pirates. The game is a work in progress. It takes Pirate CST ships, a lot of the combat and commands that from another game called Empires at Seas. Nice. Empires at Sea. Nice. That's really cool. Well, it's going to be likely to be pretty unbalanced as is. Play test it. Nice. This is really sounds really cool. Awesome. Nice to a brief peek at it. Bots, I'm not gonna lie, I usually just mark as red in this one. My knowledge of the game pieces isn't like perfectly encyclopedic, but I don't I just don't need to spend time in that thread or use it really. Nice. Yeah, this is kind of beyond the scope of this video, but nice. Settlement activities, upgrades, contracts, delivery. Looks like a little bit different combat rules. This looks really similar though. So only the ship being fired upon might counterattack. Yes, there's some return fire rules. So, oh, nice. Okay, yeah. So it's not just gold. Nice. This is cool. So it's a little bit more similar to points and play, which is one of my favorite house rules, of course. So it's more about like setting up new stuff, ports, forts, and bases. It looks like than just getting gold. So nice. All right, so buy, sell, trade offers. Usually just keep an eye on this, but booster set at Crimson Coast. So you're looking for a Providence. Nice, looking for deck plates. All right, this one always has a ton. So this one has 50 plus news messages just since like today, like 5 hours ago. So this one, I'll try to go through a bunch of these, but it's gonna take some time just to even like load these messages. I'm just gonna hit home and go back a bunch. Yeah, I won't be able to get to all of this, but okay, I think I saw that. Maui's fishhook stuff. Yeah, I remember seeing that on the 28th. So, talking about crypto. Mega overpriced mega cards, apparently. Let's see. House ruling. Whitebeard. Yeah, that one I saw at 100. Let me see where that one's at. Okay, still 105. And then about a little over 2 days, 2.5 days left. So yeah, Person of Secrets just used a proxy for the grinder in the game we had on Sunday in Tampa. So yeah, Terex is not as expensive. Yeah, whenever I see that pair go for a huge amount, it just makes me think about when they were less expensive. So Mercury, yep, yeah, Malin, True Sounds. Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty much the best cruise ship. Um, Paint job is fun though. Yeah, I don't like Abomination, but whatever. Yeah, I get two boxes of Revolution for yeah, $200. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, there's still a bunch of curse ships I need too, like mostly limited editions and stuff like that. So been seeing a bunch of new players. That's awesome. Yeah, indeed, the resurrection does continue for sure. I know I might. I kind of want to sell my Abomination now. I don't know. I know I got a couple extras. Yeah, I hate the art too. This is pretty funny actually. Yeah, that one's just super polarizing. I just got skipped somewhere. Abomination. I don't like the art, but whatever. It's extremely polarizing ship. So yeah, see, refuse to own it. One of my favorite ship designs. Let's see. Yeah, the curse. I mean, the curse artwork. It is on theme at least, so super unique in that regard. So, how many do I have? Let me see. I'm being mentioned here. 33 for 25. 24. This is Obago? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it'd be cool just to give them out and stuff like that. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised by that, honestly, but I think I'll respond to this one. That was for the MI convention packs. I feel like I can't type and talk at the same time. Yeah, Obagos. I never had more than a few of those, I don't think. I feel like I only have two or three. I mean, they're still cheap, but anyway. That's a good idea. That would be rough. That would be rough on the fingers to do. I'm thinking MI convention pack speed build, where you build the locker and the pyre, maybe both. Yeah, yeah, right. Abomination. But you could speed build the MI convention pack. Cause I've got a bunch of extras of those. Maybe Captain Rainy and I'll do that sometime. Um, yeah, they could all just go in one box. Rise of the Fiend sold out in the hills. Yeah, I think I mentioned. I think I saw that the other day. Yeah, or maybe it was this morning. I don't know. Let me just make sure I don't miss any comments here too. Yeah, yeah. Let's see new people in the community too. Anybody else here? Maine, the Barbary Corsairs. Yeah, they're really good. They're underrated. Yep. Yeah, a lot of people write them off because they're not good at combat, but I mean, gold wins the game, just like PDXR would always say. So you don't really need good cannons to win a decent amount of games. So they got a few gunships. They got Janissary's Blood and the Desert Wind, whatever, and handful of others ones. So the Gallows is solid for a small gunship, so or a hybrid. Interesting. I wonder how that came in. Beat up POTC box. I guess it's probably in the mail right now. So Fairfield box. Yeah, that must have been the smaller ones. 6 packs. Yeah. Yeah. I think packs is a good way to get into it when you have like absolutely nothing. I think it's a good way to start, and then you get that old school collector feel, like it's back in the day. Like you don't miss out on as much of like that feeling of opening packs because it's really fun. But yeah, singles still a good way to go too, especially if you're looking to build a specific fleet. So POTC super rares. Yeah, I just used Cursed Captain Jack um, in the game on Sunday. So let's see all sorts of stuff here. Enterprise going for way too much. I'll have to see this. Oh no. I don't really care when I see like people listing stuff on eBay for prices that are too high. I just kind of ignore it. Like they're just waiting until maybe somebody will pay it. I don't get, I don't know. I just don't see the point in like getting aggravated about it, but whatever. Yeah, that's expensive. Yeah. I don't know. I just ignore that stuff. But yeah, that's a little bit more interesting because they're not as common. I don't see many busts anymore. They're not, you don't see them come up on eBay too much. So, yeah. Yeah, the Gallows, yeah, it's a good ship for sure. Both HMS Gallows and the Corsair Gallows, they're both good. Um, so we need some 3D scans that don't exist already. Okay, that piques my interest. Of what? Oh, okay. I thought it was like a play. I thought they would be talking about like a playable game piece. So, yeah, honestly, I think I'd rather print new busts than like, I don't know. I don't see much value in like proxying, printing like copies of the originals. But, and Dolab 1 has a little tidbit, a little and a little plug for the podcast I'll be releasing tonight that I did with Dolab One. He actually has something really interesting to say about some busts, which was brand new information to me. So that was pretty cool to hear about. But anyway, but I think it'd be interesting to print other named crew busts, like people that didn't get one. Like Davy Jones doesn't have a bust, but he's like one of the most iconic characters in the game. So that'd be kind of interesting. Kind of make him in like the original size and style of WizKids. Um, and then maybe you could color or paint them or something. So not something I'm likely to do because I'm more about the playable game pieces, but that's cool. Um, oh, 3D, yeah. I see what you mean though. Talking about 3D scanners. Um, yeah, interesting. Rather than just scanning the cards, a 2D scanner. So I'm definitely an amateur scanner. I don't have a 3D scanner, but yeah, I saw that this morning, I think, or yesterday. I saw that listing. 4-digit starting bids, dear Lord. Ah, it just keeps going on and on. Let's see. Yeah, the pin posts are worth looking at. Yeah, that's a good point. The pin posts are always a great resource. So I know it's like more hidden than like sticky threads on a forum, but if you just click the little pinned icon, that's where like a lot of the best stuff is. We make sure to keep that full of only the best info and the best posts and stuff like that. So I always thank Matt P when the pricing reports come out. It's amazing to see the stats and whatnot. It's really cool. I still haven't analyzed like what I think of the 2022 numbers for end of year pricing on auctions and buy it nows and everything. Like how the pricing of different items changed over the year from the different quarters and whatnot. But I'm just really glad he's doing that. Yeah, South China Seas. What was it set for 900? I don't know. I think it's gone for more than that, right? But I don't know. If you really like the set and you don't have like hardly any of it, I could see that price being fair. Honestly, I think it's not it's not nearly as bad of a deal as some of these other things they're mentioning. So let's see. Mm, yeah, yeah, that's a good point. $1.50 on common sale for 610 on eBay. Yeah, yeah, I've seen the same. Yeah, it's good to look at the price lists or the halves for sale and halves for trade lists of the mats for sure, and other people too. So let's see. All right, check out off topic real quick. Mostly was just seeing. Um, damn, I was mostly just posting this in Florida because it wasn't like directly related to pirates, but just kind of tangentially related when I was posting the Gasparilla stuff, things like that. So it was really fun to go there. Hope to see more people out there next year. Definitely want to make it an annual thing. So that's most of it. I know there was, so some of these were marked as red because I don't, I would post battle report pictures, but then I didn't actually go through the rest of this. So this is really cool. That didn't take as long as I thought, but it might be just because I'm not responding to stuff. And I'll respond to some of it soon, but maybe not as much as I thought, which is fine. So no busts for Sammy the Skull, because the busts were only really early on. So they only had like Spanish main crew, I believe, at least the first few sets. So Sammy the Skull didn't show up until Davy Jones' Curse. Craziness of eBay prices. Yeah. Again, I just don't, I don't know. I don't get too aggravated when people are posting stuff for more than it's worth. Like, if it doesn't sell, it doesn't sell. So it's just like, whatever. When stuff goes for that much, like we saw the Abomination go for 60, then it's like, okay, this is pretty amusing or outrageous or whatever. But when there's just listings up, I don't know. I just don't pay much attention. I just kind of sift through that looking for better deals, basically. But yeah, T26-4E, or E4, I should say. I already kind of read this a little bit, but it was cool to see somebody else. I've been using dragons and krakens a bunch the past month or so, so it's cool to see somebody else bring them out as well. So yeah, it was crazy ironic that he posted this like the day after. Okay, so yesterday, no, so they played on the same day. So they played with Krakens the same day on Sunday the 29th that I did in Tampa, Florida. So pretty neat. And then I think either that same day or the same weekend there was another meetup in Florida in like Jensen Beach on like the east coast of Florida. So I'm gonna try to get some of those players out there for Gasparilla next year and stuff like that. So and yeah, the latest battle report is up on Pirates with Ben. So I'll leave a link to that. It was a really interesting game. It was pretty fun. We learned that the Krakens are better than people thought. Some recent rules illuminations, if you will, from Wolf are quite interesting. I put them in the battle report, but the Kraken and Kraken are actually pretty playable. I mean, it was kind of already known, I would say, but they might actually be more, I wouldn't say they're competitive, but they're more competitive than maybe people give them credit for, definitely including me. So anyway, let me just make sure I didn't miss anything else. And I know that was kind of just a brief run through, but I didn't want it to take super long. But it's good to get back on YouTube Live again. Good to see people turn out for it. Let me know in the comments, live or not, what kind of content you want to see from me this year. I definitely have some video ideas percolating, and there's some videos from the game on Sunday, some more gameplay footage. Not a lot of it, but a little bit. And then I recorded a short video while I was out boating in Tampa as well, and I got some more video ideas coming. So I'm kind of hoping to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2023. That would be a big push. I'm at like 690, but it'd be cool to get to 4 figures. Want to keep expanding the channel, expanding the game, growing the player base, things like that. So yeah, I'll try to keep posting more for sure. So yeah, at least the Barbary Coast Super Rares they're pretty playable, and they've gone for that much, I think, recently. So anyway, all right, thanks for tuning in. I'll get to responding to some of these. Thanks to everybody who watched. Like, comment, subscribe, all that. And I'll see you again in more videos.